Turf today. Get up and brush off the dew on that. Turf today. Turf today. Turf today. Cut it and roll that dew on that. Turf today. Turf today. Turf today. Set up, they about to come through on that. Turf today. Turf today. Turf today. Get up. Turf today. Get up. Turf today. Let's get out the way. Here comes first play. Let's maintain that turf today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Turf Today, where we're shining a light on people who keep the game running from the ground up. I'm Adam Kershane, alongside Brian Laurent, and this week we have a special one for you guys. We're joined by Chuck and Dylan Ashley, a father and son team who are the heart and soul of the Voyageurs Golf Course in Alban, Ontario. From their early days at Norfolk Golf and Country Club in Simcoe to managing turf with limited resources and a whole lot of pride, their story is a great reminder of what this industry is all about. Turf Today is recorded on the Superintendent Network, and it is brought to you by Toro. When the sun rises over a golf course that's still wrapped in morning dew, Toro is already there, helping you craft every cut, every roll, and every perfect green. For over a century, Toro has stood beside those who shape the game from the ground up. This isn't just equipment, it's a partner in the pursuit of excellence. From the first pass to the final mow, Toro delivers precision, reliability, and the power to inspire. Always solving, always evolving.
How are you?
Oh, a little shave. Lost a couple pounds from the last episode.
Yeah, trimmed it up a little bit.
It was getting hot on you probably, eh?
Yes, it was. Just try to find time to take the 5 minutes to trim up the beard. It's been challenging, so it's like
I'll do that too. It gets out of
Yeah.
control, and you're like, you know what? I should probably take a few minutes here and take care of myself.
It's right, yeah. I just don't feel like it some days,
Oh yeah, no, I know what that's like. I've talked to so many people lately, and everybody's so busy. Like I know
It's crazy.
Summer gets kind of crazy, the summer heat and the longer days. People jam stuff into their schedules, but it's just this grind season right now.
Yep. In the midst of that 90-day war.
That's good. I've never heard that before. It's
Really?
a good way of putting it. Yeah, the 90-day war. Would that
Yeah,
be
man.
more of a summer reference or an actual turf reference?
Summer reference.
Just summer. Yeah, I've never heard that. Or maybe if I've heard it, I just never put two and two together. But it is good. We just talked about this a couple weeks ago. We kind of put it out there and said if we wonder if there is a father-son that works together on a course, and here we go. We were able to find a pair, and it sounds like they've been working together for a while too. So that's
Awesome.
let's see how that relationship evolves over time. The other thing they were excited about, they're big fans of the show, but there's a lot of different types of people we've had on here. And one thing we get requests for sometimes is how things are done at kind of a lower budget place. And it sounds like they work with what they got out there, and they've certainly turned things around, but they're happy to kind of talk about what you do with less staff and less money and stuff like that.
No, it'll be good to get a different perspective. It sounds like it's truly a mom and pop golf course, huh?
I think so. Might only even be 9 holes.
Yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they've been working together for a number of years there, so it's exciting.
I'd be curious to see what the relationship is, because it looks like the one that answered the questionnaire is the superintendent.
Right.
So is the other like a director, or is he just kind of on the crew, or
maybe was the superintendent and Dylan was the assistant, and then they've flip-flopped? Because I think it says somewhere that they've worked together for 30 years or something like that. I might be wrong. But it was like, oh, wow, they've been doing it for a while. Dylan, you with us?
How's it going, guys?
Good. How you boys doing?
Gentlemen, what's going on? Sorry, I didn't have you on my screen there. Here we go.
You guys just wrapping up, taking some swings in the net back there, or what?
My little practice studio.
I love it.
You guys got the hole changer set up behind you and everything. That's awesome.
We
Well
got some old
done.
school ones.
Yeah, little history
Yeah, it
there.
is. How many years does that thing have under its belt?
This one came with the place. I never used it. It doesn't even have the handle. It's like the foot pedal one.
Oh wow,
Oh
yeah,
man.
that is old school.
I don't know how old that is.
Oh man. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, no handle.
that's a
that's seen
beauty.
some action.
Well, you guys have quite a few pieces of I want to say antiques, but you guys have some older equipment there. Dylan sent me some great shots over the past few years of some of the mowers you guys have and some of the things you've kept going. It's incredible. I guess that kind of comes with the sort of course you guys are at and the budget you're sort of working with.
A lot of that equipment came from the place we worked at for like 20 and 30 years. But 3 years ago, we moved up north and took over a different course, which also came with its fair bit of old equipment.
Nice. So let's kick things off here, guys. Just go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
All right. Well, I'm Chuck Ashley. I got started in the golf. Never worked on a course. I had a guidance teacher come up to me in high school and said there was a new course, golf maintenance. And I thought, I love golfing. So I gave that a shot, and second year of the program, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was the only one that had never worked on a golf course. But, got up to speed pretty quick, and actually went to Guelph for a couple of years, another turf course, and ended up in South Carolina. Worked at a Pete Dye course for about 3 months. We had some green card issues. Had to come back. I'm a little nervous.
Oh, it's all
Never
good.
done any of this before.
Yeah, no, it's all
Go
good.
ahead.
Just pretend like we're sitting here at the shop with you.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, Chuck. No one listens to us, so it's just a conversation between the four of us. It's fine.
It's a couple golf course guys.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
so South Carolina was interesting. Like I said, it was a Pete Dye course, just down the street from Harbor Town, actually. So I really liked that. But like I said, we had some green card issues and they sent us back. I lived at home for about a week and moved up to New Lidskard, Northern Ontario. I wasn't there 2 weeks and found out another course about 4 hours away needed a superintendent in Elliott Lake, and so I got that job. So I was there for 4 years.
Young.
Yeah, I was never an assistant or nothing. I just worked on a course and went to school and took over this place and was there for 4 years and moved back home when that job came open and spent 32 years there
Wow.
at Norfolk.
It was built in 1895 and then redesigned by Stanley Thompson in the 20s. And it's, I think, the fourth oldest course on original property in Canada.
Oh wow.
Dad took over there basically when I was born. My first memories were driving around and learning how to golf. And then they couldn't pay me till I was 12, so I worked for empties.
Nice.
At an 11.
Made them in
Nice.
empties for quite a while. Yeah, yeah. Norfolk's a real unique piece of property. Back in the day, the old postmaster lived across the street and set up a golf course for his three girls to play. And in 1895, it got sort of incorporated into a golf course, but they've been playing there actually longer than that. And it's very hilly. There's no flat lies on the golf course. There's never been any bulldozers or equipment on the course, so it's just kind of how it laid, like back in the old days. And a lot of old trees on the golf course, lots of oaks. It's actually a Carolinian area, so we have trees that you'd find down in the Carolinas can grow up into our little area, sort of because we're surrounded by all the Great Lakes there, and we have sort of a little microclimate there.
Good for disease.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Keeps things interesting, huh?
and like I said, lots of old trees on the property, and
Shaded greens.
yeah, lots of challenges growing turf for sure.
Mhm.
A lot of tree huggers on the board. We always had a board of directors. Nobody ever owned the golf course. So, yeah, lots of challenges there, sure.
Nice. So then, Dylan, how'd you
And I
get
brought
into it?
Dylan.
What's
Well, Dylan got into he didn't have a lot of choice. He's my only son, and I started taking him to work. I can remember him playing on the workbench, and his mother having a fit that he was going to fall off on the cement floor, of course. But yeah, as soon as his feet could reach the pedal on the cart, he was on the course, and I think he had just a good time doing it for a long time. And it's funny. I still, up until I retired a couple of years ago from there, he still had his plastic screwdriver and plastic hammer up on the tools where all the tools go and stuff. So
That's pretty
yeah, a
cool.
lot of good memories there for sure.
So Dylan, did you
I always
stick with it
remember,
right away?
yeah, I always remember working for dad and just assuming I'd go to college for it. And he always said, well, you know how busy we are. We don't get any vacations. Like, and yeah, you don't do it for money. But there wasn't a day I didn't want to go to the golf course and stay with him.
Yeah, yeah, that was always great about a golf
We lived
course.
about 3 minutes away, so before I could drive, I was always there on a pedal bike. And my high school, I could see the golf course from my high school and his high school. And we'd
Yeah,
take care of the football field and roll it, and I'd get the day off high school to go roll the football field and stuff. But I could never skip and go golf because dad was there working.
True.
So I'd always have to come up with an excuse like it's the third track and field day.
yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
So talk
So to,
about some
And
of your favorite memories together out there on the golf course.
well, he was the boss for 32, 33 years, so he had some characters work for him. We'd have like five, six, seven guys a summer. And when I was younger, it was always university kids, and they'd love it, and they're great. You might get them for 4 years, and that kind of changed, I guess. And it was harder and harder to find staff.
Well, since COVID, really noticed a change with you don't get the young people wanting to work on the golf course anymore, and some of the help you're forced to hire or have to hire isn't the greatest for sure. And
But one of our best stories is we had a guy named Jimmy, and he was character. He was like, well, he was homeless for a bit, and he loved picking old dumps and looking for antiques, and he could bike an hour after work to a beach like it was nothing. And we got a lot of vandalism because our course is right in the middle of the town. The town kind of kept growing around our golf course, and kids would come up and throw tee blocks off the hills and steal a flag and ride their bike across the green. And it got so bad every weekend. This Jimmy guy would like kind of stay up there and drink and chase him around in a gator.
nice.
And it was a little wild, but it worked because we were tired of picking up tee blocks. And he'd always have a story coming in the morning, be like, oh yeah, I got these kids at 2 a.m. and this and that. But one day he goes, well, the cops came. Why'd the cops come, Jimmy? Well, I caught the kid and I drug him to the parking lot and I locked him in the garbage dumpster.
Oh, hey.
Come
One way to learn your lesson.
and it's well, I couldn't believe it. And they gave me trouble.
yeah, yeah, you
Oh
can't do
man.
that, Jimmy. But he was a character. He was a really hard worker. You know, he'd do anything. Uh, the very first time I ever met him, he was a friend of one of the guys that was working for me at the time, and we had come in and started aerifying on a Sunday night, and had brought in pizza for the guys and stuff, and Jimmy showed up. I asked him, "Do you want a slice of pizza?" And he goes, "Does a drowning man want a life raft?"
Just
Yeah,
ready for it. I
yeah.
wanted to ask you how you guys sort of divide things up. Like who is the one calling the shots? How does that all work?
I always had lists. I was a big list guy. So in the morning, I'd have a list out, and I like giving everybody different jobs. We trained everybody pretty much on all the standard jobs, and so there was a list, and I'd just fill it out every morning. And as Dylan got older and everything, he started filling out the list. And now that I'm up here working for him, I'm just reading the list.
Yeah, it's his list.
Yeah, his list. What am I doing now?
You got the dream
We're
job. You don't have to make decisions anymore then, right? You just go out there and get it
no,
done.
you know, I tell the story back home. Like I had been at Norfolk for 32 years, and that isn't counting when I was cleaning clubs and stuff when I was a kid. So everybody knew me, and it was hard to get through the day without having so many people wanting to talk to you. And I come up here and I'm like Dylan's dad. He's just out cutting fairways. There's nobody bothering you. It's really nice. Um, but I enjoyed, being a superintendent all those years for sure. It was hard to walk away from I grew up there golfing and
My grandpa, his dad was a member like his whole life and caddied before golf carts, like our whole family. He,
family lived across the street from the third tee, and yeah, so it was a wonderful experience working there for all those years. But I knew the time would come. I was getting tired of uh, weed whacking around the same tree again and fixing the same sprinkler head for the 100th time or something. So yeah, so new change is always good, right?
What challenges do you guys run into, being related? Because sometimes it makes things a little bit easier, but it does certainly makes things tougher.
well, I always say working for family's hard, but we've done it for so long. We got her down now. We know when to
Yeah.
walk away.
Yeah.
When to.
We're
That's the
not too
important thing.
confrontational, either of us. We'll get mad and we both just kind of get quiet and walk away, and 10 minutes later it's all good to go again.
Nice.
That doesn't happen very often either. But I'm, up here, I go home a lot. I'm here about every other week, so it's very less stressful for me, yeah, than Dylan.
So Dylan, with your new club, was it an understanding that it's a package deal? You're coming up and you're bringing your dad up with you to kind of help the team.
I didn't know how much longer he'd stay at Norfolk without my help, and he lasted about a year and a half, and then said, "Okay, I'm done." They tried hiring someone, and of course, the first guy didn't work out very good.
Well, yeah, I only finished after he left. I only finished the year, and it's like not having your right hand because, as you can imagine, like we might only have three other guys working on the staff besides us two, and I had my assistant living in my house, so it's raining outside, and hey, you want to go shut that irrigation off, or so it was very handy that way,
And I gave him 20 some years of work, so
right?
he owes me a few.
So when he left, yeah, it was a lot more work than I wanted to be doing. I found out I'd been golfing a lot the year before that, so I started cutting into that. So yeah, he sort of convinced me that he worked for me for 20, so I could at least give him a couple years up here. So it seemed fair.
Nice. So you got the cushy job cutting fairways, or does he have you doing everything?
Everything, but he does leave me fairways a lot, so
Nice.
I appreciate that. And up here we got the nice blue clay, so every time we have to dig some irrigation or something, it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Got to get the
Yeah.
jackhammer out for those or what?
Yeah. Yeah, they came like my old course was on like a sand pit. It's like, and then it was an Elliott Lake before that. It was all rock. So yeah, it's different.
So Dylan, working that many years under your dad and then going on and getting a new role of your own, taking over, what were some of the challenges that you faced kind of, I guess, number one, without him, but then also kind of being in charge of your own spot?
Well, I finally understood why he stayed up at night worrying about water and worrying about everything, and I got to feel what that was like. And I called him a lot. But I mean, this place was for sale for a few years, and the old owner wasn't putting a lot of money into it, and he wasn't maintaining it to the caliber I was used to. So when Dad first came, he thought, "Oh boy, I didn't work my whole life to come play this crappy place.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is gonna work great." And I worked sun up to sundown for 3 months in a row and made the greens puttable.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty rough. I wish he had had some pictures, but I can remember the benches by the tee off had grass growing through the cracks in the benches
Oh
up to,
boy.
yeah, and you could barely see the ball washer from the grass going around. So it was pretty rough. And
Kind of sounds like my yard
yeah,
right now.
I didn't think he could get the greens playable there the first year, but he did top dressed them up, and Yeah, it's come a long way. So,
Nice.
um,
Dylan, do you own the
nice.
course? Did you buy the course or you work for another owner?
I got pretty lucky. My girlfriend's parents retired young and wanted a new project without knowing a single thing about golf or golf courses.
That's
It's a
kind of a
favorite kind of
hilarious
owner right
story.
there.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
you've got a full family deal going on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very family up here, yeah.
It's you'll like this story. Rick, the owner, his girlfriend's Haley, so her dad Rick. We were really short-handed there at Norfolk, and he came in to work. So we had him cut some tees and aprons the first day, and
All our tee offs are on humongous cliff hills. So if you go maybe 3 feet too far, you could die.
First
And he
day, here
thought
we
he'd be
go.
mowing like he thought he'd be mowing like a yard.
yeah,
And I'm like, well, if you're gonna do it, we're gonna go right to number one, and that's one of the biggest, craziest ones. And he goes, "Are you sure you can't find anyone else to do this?"
yeah. Anyways, he's leaving after his first day of work, and we got a big long driveway, and you go out past the fifth green, and he's coming down, and he had cut the apron there, and he told Dylan the next day, he goes, "You don't get that feeling leaving a factory." So he went
That's
home that night and started looking for golf courses for sale. And
Wow.
that's
You
how
just
he
got the
ended up
bug that
here.
fast. Not the golf bug, but the
One
buying a
day,
golf course bug. Nice.
never golfed either.
Oh,
One day
wow.
of working on a golf
Incredible.
course.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It'll do that to you, I
So
guess. It's a magical place.
So is he
he
out working
just,
with you guys then too? Is he a
yeah,
new member of the grounds crew?
He is,
it,
and he's learning. He's getting better each year.
yeah, yeah,
He,
yeah. He loves it, and he's very easygoing, and it's like I said, he's got Dylan's girlfriend and his wife are in the clubhouse working, and Dylan and Rick on the course, and I come up and give him a hand. So
That's awesome.
What an
So
operation.
you guys, you mentioned post-COVID, you've been really struggling to find people. What do you think it was about the pandemic that kind of flipped that switch to make it more and more challenging to find people?
I think maybe it's a lot to do with the pandemic, and also I think just kids in general, and when the videos got popular, and kids just started staying inside more. Back in when you're as old as I am, everybody was outside, and getting a job outside was great, but there's just I don't think it's as appealing to a lot of young kids like it used to be.
we even seen it with the vandalism. Like that completely stopped. Kids weren't out at night riding their bike till 10, 11 o'clock and
Yeah,
screwing around on the golf cart like that. And then in the winter, since it's in the middle of the town, like we'd get 200, 300 kids tobogganing. We'd have to snow fence all our greens, then walk on the greens, and we could kick them all off, but it was like endless. So we just kind
yeah,
of let it go. And then that even slowed down. Like they go from
yeah,
200, 300 kids out there to maybe one or two families.
yeah,
I don't know. It's just
yeah.
indoor activities, right? I guess.
So have you guys found some creative ways to sort of, put out job ads or find people to come and work at the course with you?
I found every single one of my friends worked for me at one point,
Nice.
and
That
then
was a great resource for quite a while when he was in high school. Went through a lot of his friends, and
we got to know like the co-op teacher at the high school, so we'd always try to get a co-op kid, and if they liked it or worked out, that was always handy. We'd go to the unemployment center in town, and
yeah,
then it got to the point I could put like post on Facebook, and someone hopefully would need it. It was cool too. We'd work like 6 till 2, so if you can get up in the morning, you're done at 2 mostly. It's pretty sweet.
That's what I keep trying to tell my kids. Like, you got all afternoon then to go hang out with your friends and do whatever you want. It's a no-brainer.
Well, the other cool part was when my friends would have to move on to get, a job that paid more or something in their field, they'd always come back on weekends or help for little tournaments and do it all for free just to get back on that fairway more. Like probably five or more of my friends would come work for free.
well, the one kid went out and worked in the oil sands, right, Nate?
Yeah.
So he would be out there for 3 weeks. He wouldn't see anything green. He said he'd come
Oh,
back and
geez.
mow fairways for me for a couple days.
Perfect. Work for pizza and beer.
Yeah, pretty much
Golf.
golf. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
one funny story I wanted to mention while we were on was during the COVID was probably one of the best times working on a golf course. You know, you got no golfers, your tees are per everything's perfect, and
And that spring we didn't open yet, so we got closed before we opened. So we got to grow in these spots that were always, like right in front of a cart path that
cart,
always sucked.
yeah,
Got that perfect. Not a ball mark, not a divot, not a cart mark going through the beautiful cut fairways.
yeah, I'll
And the
check it
day
out.
before we opened, I brought up all my friends. I'm like, look at this place. We all played that night. It was
Nice.
awesome.
You did,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, so
Chuck, you didn't know
yeah,
that?
Yeah.
there's a few things golf cart related. I'm sure I'm unaware of, but there is a funny story. During that time, we'd go out, Dylan and I, and grab a couple carts and big hose and wipe fairways off, and we're out one morning doing that, and we get over to number 8, and there's a dead chicken laying in the fairways. So some guy's backyard chicken, some fox dropped off for us or something. I don't know. So I throw it in the back of the golf cart, and we continue on wiping. We get over to number 5, and a couple of foxes come out of the woods, and they're sitting there. So I get Dylan to stop in there. So I throw the chicken over towards the foxes. Well, the one fox just stays on the edge of the trees, but the other one makes a beeline for the chicken. And as he's doing that, this hawk comes out of the other woods on the other side. They're both getting down there, but the fox beat him to it. And the hawk just sat up in the tree and squawked at him. But Dylan and I are just looking at each other going, geez, this is pretty neat.
That's
Uh,
awesome. Yeah, the things you don't see when there's golfers running around there scaring
right,
everything
like all
away.
the deer came back in to the course and the foxes, and yeah, it was pretty neat.
Didn't your turf
Yeah.
dog make friends with the fox too?
Yeah, I had a little American Eskimo, and they looked like a little white fox, and
Hmm.
he was a similar size. And the one morning we come into work, and we had a fox sitting down on our top dress pile, and we drive by it, and we go in the shop, and the fox was yelping at him. We didn't know it, but he wanted to play with my dog, and he circled around the shop and came up the other side and was yelping. And my dog and the foxes would play. They'd chase each other into the woods. They'd chase each other out, and it was pretty cool. I'm cutting fairways one time, and there was a fox just sitting on the edge of the rough, and Mo came charging at him. The fox never moved, so Mo just ran into him and barrel rolled him. The fox was rolling down the fairways. Jeez. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of cool stories there.
Turf Today is brought to you by Apex 10 from Green Nature, a proven biostimulant trusted by turf pros to improve root development, boost microbial activity, and increase stress tolerance. Right now, they're running a special promo. Buy 2 cases and get a third free. It's the perfect time to stock up and see the results for yourself. Follow them on Instagram at Apex10Life and elevate your turf from the ground up with Apex 10.
So, Dylan, I want to know what's your it's clearly not going to be your fondest memory, but what's your biggest memory of one time you really messed up and your dad had to get on you a little bit about it?
The pump host was always sensitive. Like if you didn't set the time right, or if you put AM, PM, and this irrigation didn't go off at night, that was always a pretty sensitive topic. But this time he didn't get mad at me, but I thought he was gonna. We had a tennis court close to our shop, and then we had a massive parking lot. But sometimes the times people would come play in the heat, but be too lazy to walk to the tennis court, so they kind of park in our way. And we had this like long chute to our shop. If you put a car or two in there, you can't get your equipment down to the shop. So I'm coming flying down in a Cushman, and the front's a little narrower than the back, and I'm like 13. And there's a stupid Pontiac in my way. So I tried snipping around it, but I caught the back of her car with the back of the Cushman
Oh, yeah.
and like scratched it pretty good. And we didn't care for this tennis lady, but I still thought I am in trouble. So dad comes down. He's like, what happened? I'm like, wow, she's parked in this dumb spot and I hit her by accident. And I thought I was going to get it, right? He lost his mind on the lady for parking there.
Nice.
Who was that? Was that-
Megan.
Oh, man, that's probably right.
Do
Yeah.
you have one that stands out in your mind, Chuck, where you had to correct Dylan at all?
I was thinking of that when you were asking him. I can't really.
I got a golf cart stuck in a tree once. We had a part of the driveway that
Did give him a little shit for being on his phone there. Yeah.
hooked.
Yeah.
No, I had a pole changer fall off the back of the cart, and I'm trying to pick it back up, and I don't take the corner good, and I like launch off this ledge and get stuck in a crab apple, like in the tree, because I went off this ledge. And the roof of this old Yamaha cart caved in on my head, but like I was fine, just perfectly fine. So I had to walk to the tree. The cart's in a tree. I had to walk to the shop, which wasn't far, and go try this one on. I got a golf cart stuck in a tree,
I can't say
and
I've
it
ever
was.
heard of that before.
No, that's pond.
That's-
I still
Yes.
have that golf cart.
Oh, yeah. Is it?
Oh,
It's a
really?
91 Yamaha. I brought
Still
it up
works.
north with me.
So when
That's-
we
Yeah.
talk about memories, what about advice? Dylan, any good advice your dad's given you over the years that's really stuck with you?
You can only blame the old guy for so long.
It's good.
I was doing a lot of that, and he did a lot of that when he took over Norfolk, and eventually it's on you.
Yeah. You get a couple years, and yeah.
And then the other one is you got to do the little things to make the course nicer. Keeping everything painted nice and the trimming and the whacking and the bunker work. You got to just keep all the little things in check.
Control what you can control, right?
Yeah.
So I
Are
was,
you
I think
implementing
it-
that into
I
the new
am-
course then?
My first week here, I was driving around with hole changers and spray cans and new towels for the ball. I was doing like 10 different things at once, just trying to spruce up the place. Still am. Like, I recently just got some, like, instead of having like wrought iron and crappy rope as barricades like the old guy had, I punted that immediately and just chose not to have barricades. Now I got some nice, fancy black chain and just keep
You
sprucing
did your benches up last year, and it's so
benches,
nice.
flagpoles, all the stuff you got to do.
One of the things when I took over at Norfolk, it was in a bit of a decline then, and the turf was. It took a few years to really turn the turf's kind of side around. So in that time, you just pay attention to all the things you can control, and sand traps and signs and hedges and things like that. You just make sure you stay on top of all that. Um, and I always just sort of believe that if you continue to do the right thing, the right practices, the right cultural stuff, that it all turns around. Uh, Usually sooner than you think too. So when I took over Norfolk, they were Poana greens, and they got into some top dressings with sand pretty heavily and pretty much killed them all. So
Grubs.
we had grub issues, yeah. So, and it wasn't till 95 where they really came out with any chemicals here for us to do anything with those white grubs. So that was a couple of tough years in there too.
Chuck, did you have any mentors or anyone that you leaned on for advice on your way up?
So, yeah, see, I never worked on a course. I just went to school, and I never was an assistant. So I didn't have any of that. And, I talked to everybody in the industry, and everybody had somebody, that sort of took them along. So I had to learn a lot of it myself. But the one thing and I tell everybody that gets into it, that don't be afraid to ask for help. And I was never afraid to call the other superintendents in the area, and they were all great. We actually ended up forming a little group of about 7 or 8 of us in the area, and we helped each other a lot. But yeah, early on, I just networked with a lot of guys. I joined the associations and met guys there, and I had a brother that followed me into the industry as well, and so yeah, I wasn't afraid to pick up the phone when I didn't know for sure.
All us guys are always willing to help, and we're not trying to
Yeah.
hide information.
And it really was true here for sure. They were all helpful, all the older fellows in the area when I got started. And
Yeah, that part of it
I
is
remember
so
what-
important, especially for a course like you guys. Like you need that help, right? If you don't have the answers
Well,
anywhere else, you need that help. So
we don't
that's
have the budget, so it's nice to be able to go borrow stuff when your stuff goes down, and or if you got an extra, everybody was pretty willing to help. I can remember my brother trucking in a sprayer for me when mine went down, and so you got to have that. I don't think I would have been as successful as I was if I didn't get a lot of help along the way.
so you guys
So
spend a lot of time together. Obviously, there's a lot of turf conversations that go on. What do you guys do outside of the golf course? Are we talking hockey? Are we talking sport? Like, what do you guys kind of get into outside of turf?
We did do the hockey thing growing up. Growing up, we always had boats. We were down by Lake Erie, so we always had a boat on the lake there, and fishing and going over to Turkey Point just for the day. And Dylan always had his buddy come with him. And in the wintertime, it was hockey. Dylan started off as playing forward, but ended up in net for a while, and that was a lot of fun. And golf, we golf. What else do we do? And we
Yeah.
love music. Dylan and I share just kind of nice. He got inundated with all my 80s and 70s music growing up, so he knows a lot of that. And so we'll send each other new songs that we like or something too. So we share that interest as well.
When we were young, Dad always made a point to have a boat, even if it was crappy and old as heck. It would give us, just a couple hours away from the course on the water. And it was always a good option and a good little getaway.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty hard to get away for a week or something in the summer at these little small places, but yeah, it was nice having that for sure.
what's your guys' season like where you are?
At home, they'd golf into December if we let them, but up here, I shut her down in October, and I don't get open until May. Sometime my first year here is the third week of May.
Yeah, it was that late, eh?
So up here's kind of short, May to October, and it's like cottage country. We're in the French River, so there's all these nice rivers and ponds and lakes, and it's like a little Muskoka almost.
So I was mentioning earlier about back home, we're sort of in that microclimate, and it's just interesting there. We can go all winter without really getting any snow. Um, but generally our season will run mid-April to, into November or something. Nice little off season for us. And
Yeah, it's great. Just
yeah.
shoveling snow. You have to always take care of making sure there was a path to the clubhouse and the maintenance
Yeah, our
building.
clubhouse stayed open.
Okay.
Has a nice restaurant and that stayed open. So yeah, snow plowing was always part of it. And I was the only guy on, so I did all the real sharpening and all that stuff. And,
Nice.
uh,
Nice. So my
yeah.
my dad, when I worked for him growing up, threatened to fire me once. Was there ever a point where it was close?
Cart in a tree, maybe?
I don't think, eh? I don't know if there was any close. He came closer to getting kicked out of the house more than he ever did getting fired from the golf course, I think.
You're out of the house, but
Times
see
when
you
we
at work
were
in the
living
morning.
at home. Yeah, it's like oh, I got to go home and see you. That's getting a little old, but other than that, I think things are good.
How about you, Dylan? You getting close to fire your dad yet?
No, it's pretty easy going up here actually. Down home, sometimes we'd butt heads with the board of directors, like start complaining about stuff we didn't have time to deal with, or my dog barking too much at a squirrel.
Yeah, something silly. Up here, it's a different world up here, guys. It is so relaxed, and when you take over a place that you know maybe had been let go a little bit, and you just bring it along, it really shows, and everybody that comes here is happy, and um, like Dylan said, we're sort of in cottage country, so we have people that come up for the summer that played here last summer and go, "Wow, this is so much better." So. Um, yeah, we're just gonna try to keep that going, and some days we start at 7, some days we sit there and have coffee till 7:45. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's a different world up here.
We are back with another Ask the Agronomist segment featuring PhD agronomist Tony Goldsby from the Andersons. Our question today comes in from Country View Country Club. Would you mix Primo and trim it together for a first app or just run them one at a time?
Awesome. Well, again, great question this week. Thanks again, Adam, for having me on the show. And yeah, I mean, I think this is becoming more and more of a common scenario when you're planning your PGR programs and how you make them most effective for your course. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with kind of the differences of the two, Primo or Trinipax ethyl is the active ingredient, and then Trimit or paclobutrazol are both great growth regulators, and they tend to do similar types of things, but they work a little bit differently than one another. So if we're looking at Primo first, it's a foliar absorbed growth inhibitor that's going to give you more flexible short-term regulation. While on the contrast, when we're looking at Trimit or paclobutrazol, it's a root absorbed PGR, and that tends to going to have a little bit longer residual effects. So again, it's pretty common to understand why a turf manager might want to combine those two to get basically the best of both worlds, that short-term regulation along with that longer-term residual effect. Now, for a first application though, which was what the question related to, I would say, Primo is probably your safer of the two to just start with and make sure you get that, suppression level dialed in to where you want it without over-regulating. I think one of the biggest dangers with any PGR, right, is to get over-regulation. And then if you run into any type of stress, right, it's going to be very difficult for your turf to respond and to be able to work its way out of that. So again, if you have a pretty good idea of how it's going to respond, and then you want to layer in some Trimit after that, that's definitely going to give you a longer, stronger effect, especially if you're doing that in the middle of the summer. But again, if you're going to really be bent on wanting to put them in together in a tank mix, I think that's absolutely doable. But just be cautious about it, and start with the lowest rate of each of them, just to make sure from a synergistic impact that you're getting kind of again the suppression effect that you're wanting. You're not seeing any scalping. And then again, use the lowest rates possible and kind of titrate it up from there to see how your turf responds. And again, like I said, Primo's been out there for a long time. Most managers start with it alone just because it's a little bit more forgiving in terms of its residual. But then you can, of course, just adjust it up as you need to through the summer months. But as always, too, right, I would, always refer to your label recommendations and, reach out to your local extension or university for your specific area. Just to make sure that you're, got the guidance you need to fine tune any of those rates, and especially the timing, just given where you might be from a geography perspective. So, another great question this week. You guys are always keeping me on my toes and digging into to what's going on. So, appreciate you having me on again.
So how rewarding is that for you guys when you hear the people that haven't been back for a year and they tell you how much they appreciate the improvements? How rewarding is that for you guys? And then Chuck, as a father, to see that your son's kind of the one that's fostering that improvement, how does that make you feel?
Well, I can remember we had our closing up here last year, and the guys were, all talking about how wonderful the course was and how great a job Dylan had been doing. And it does make you feel proud. And I can remember thinking, I always knew he could do what he had done to the golf course. It wasn't really that made me so proud as much as the work he put in. It is relaxed up here, but the boy works from 7 till 9. You know, it's all day. It's after dinner. It's moving hoses for irrigation. So put in a lot of time, and he's a hard worker and a good kid. And yeah, his dad's pretty proud of him. Are you tearing up?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna show my grass cutters if they can see it. Can you guys
Oh,
see my workers right now?
oh yeah. You got some sheep out there?
We got two.
They're my weed whackers.
Free
Are they
labor.
native or did you
Yeah.
bring them in or what?
My girlfriend worked at a sheep farm, and when sheep have more than three, they don't look after them. So her job was to go around and pick up like the ones that were abandoned and bottle feed them. And there were so many of these. She goes, "Can I take a few home?" And the lady's like, "Yeah, for sure. Like you're the one keeping them alive." So they're like 6 years old now. Yeah, Haley's had them for a long time.
we have people in town that bring their kids out just to see the sheep. And you can imagine golfing and seeing a couple. She's kind of cool, right?
Oh yeah,
And
I like that.
are they out of the pen right now?
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll wander up to the clubhouse. Yeah, yeah. So you,
Well, they're
You
you
guys
part of
gonna
the.
redo the course logo to integrate the sheep into it or what?
we should have a sheep and my hound dog. That'd be cool.
pretty cool, but it's
Right now, we got just the guys on the canoe.
Oh, that's cool.
French River's famous for opening up the trading way back, the fur trade. And so their logo is the canoe with a couple of fur traders in it. And the Voyageurs, that's what they were called, right? The French back in the day. So that's where that name comes from and their logo. So.
I love that. The original greenskeepers, the sheep and the Highland cattle and all those guys were wheeling around. There's a big flash of lightning that just went by, so it's time for the lightning round, which is powered by Flash Weather AI. Your heads up before the skies light up, and download their new app today. All right, boys, this is a little bit different because it's two of you, but I tried to get a few questions here that should work for both of you. All right, who is more likely to sleep through a 3:30 a.m. alarm?
Dylan.
Agree, Dylan, or what?
Agree, but I'm not bad at it. It's just he never.
He can't do it, eh?
Yeah.
Who's more particular about the mowing lines?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
We both can lay a banana once in a while.
Just humble guys. I like it. If you weren't doing turf together, what would you guys be doing together?
Car mechanic, I guess, even though I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say golf.
Just
I'm
golf?
retired
Okay.
now.
Any heated debates over which equipment brand is best?
We're old school Jake guys. That's all we've
You
ever
are.
had. And I get up here in Toro. I'm trying to learn these Toros.
That's the thing, right? Like,
One word answers.
well, you were younger. But
We'll let you
I worked
expand.
at
Oh, yeah. We're
It's
having
okay,
fun.
Chuck.
yeah. It's just even in South Carolina, the first five courses I worked at all were Jacobson, and I didn't get on a Toro Greensmower till I came up here, and so you get pretty set in your preferences early on, and
Like what you
but I'm
like.
sure they're both great. We always had Toro rough cutters, so
Who gets the final say when it comes to lunch spots after a long day?
Ellen,
Be Dylan? Yeah. All right, last one
Who
for
has
you
to pick up
guys.
the tab?
There you go.
Dad,
Yeah.
Dad, Dad always said.
Yeah, that's how it
Not
works.
here.
All right, last one. This
Uh,
one's a good one for you guys. This is a bit of a thinker. If you guys could work turf together at any course in the world, where would it be?
Fort Rush looked pretty cool on TV this weekend.
I would say Long Cove. That's the course I worked at in Hilton Head. It was the Pete Dye course. It was awesome.
I was wondering if that's where you were. You mentioned Pete Dye right up the street from Harbor Town. That's a cool little spot there,
Yeah,
huh?
it was when I got done school, the one of our teachers was had this company that would send people down there. Now we he ended up having problems with getting green cards and stuff, and we had to come back. But this Long Cove, they asked to have the tournament there a couple times when Harbor Town was in tough shape, and they wouldn't let them. But it's every club in your bag. It is it's awesome.
Yeah, they've hosted a couple NCAA tournaments, I think, there recently. And then
Okay.
I think they just went through a renovation within the last decade or so, I believe. But yeah, cool. Very, very cool spot.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. I like that lightning round was pretty solid there, guys. What
Yeah.
what's the future hold for you guys? You guys just gonna kind of keep grinding it out, keep improving the course here? Or are you gonna hang it up here soon, Chuck?
Uh, well, I'm gonna keep helping them out for a few years, I think. The wife and I do have a trailer back home on a nice little lake, and I do like to play golf, but I enjoy it when I get up here and help them. Like I said, nobody's calling for Chuck up here, so it's uh it's nice. So yeah, my plan is just to help him for a few years and retire into the sunset. So you might see me on the golf course.
So who wins in a golf match?
Oh, that's a good
Well, it
question.
was always me, but lately it's the tide's
The
turning.
tides are
Let's
turning.
put it
That's
that
good.
way. Yeah.
It's
It
a
took a
fun.
while. It took longer than it probably should have. But no, like I used to play to about a four handicap back when
Oh
I
wow.
thought I'd become a superintendent, and then four turns into 14 pretty quick. Um,
Kids and
but yeah,
mortgages.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
always what I say.
yeah.
So Dylan, you're working on your game though. You're catching up and starting to win a little more.
Yeah, if I get out a couple times a week, I'm pretty okay. But when I only play men's night, it can be I don't know, +9.
We both have simulators in our houses now, though, so
Come
we're
on.
more winter golfers than
Yeah,
now.
Yeah, I guess you guys
Well,
would get a pretty tough winter up there. There'd be a lot of snow, right?
up here there is. Yeah, my greens were under snow from like November till April, and I was getting pretty concerned, but they came out good. I don't know. I got lucky.
nice.
And on the
Nice.
airfied top dressed and
So
But yeah,
before we got to wrap here in a little bit, I just want to know what's your favorite part of working together and least favorite part of working together.
Nice.
well, my favorite part I was the handiness for sure. I could remember when I was getting a little older there, and I could delegate a lot of stuff like I was mentioning earlier. Anytime a rainstorm came up, I wasn't running to the golf course as much, and even the night watering if we had to go up check on some stuff. Dylan did a lot of that for me. I like that.
How about you, Dylan?
you said what we like and what we don't like, correct?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Could be the same thing.
Chuck just did favorite, so we'll let you do favorite as well, and then we'll go to worst or least
Um,
favorite. I shouldn't say
Favorite
worst.
is like I don't have to train him, and he doesn't have to train me. Like it's just okay. You're gonna go do this, and I'm gonna go do that, or if I'm gonna go spray, he's gonna check the nozzles, and he might have the backpack blower ready if we need it. Like it's just we've been doing it for so long. It goes. You don't have to even talk hardly, which is pretty fun.
Just in a good
And
routine. You
favorite,
know each other so well.
not and non-favorite is I can't get away with anything.
Yeah. At the end of the day, he's
That's
still
true.
dad, right?
Did you get those teas fertilized?
Yeah, I'll be on the phone.
There's rain coming. You better go fertilize.
How about you, Chuck?
Yes, if I
What's the least favorite part?
probably what he doesn't do what I tell him to do.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple of things on the course I would have liked to see done by now, but I don't
We'll let you guys
pressure
talk
him
about
too
that
much.
after this call.
Yeah, yeah. A couple of things I'd like to see taken care of, but he'll get there.
So in your current role there then, Chuck, are you always pointing things out that you'd like to see, or do you just kind of let him do his thing?
No, I point him out if I see him. Yeah, I don't do a lot of it though. This is his baby and everything, but or I think maybe my 40 years of experience might be beneficial. I'll tell him. Yeah.
Well, that's so nice. It sounds like you guys have a great thing going there. And I gotta say, Brian's grown up working with his family, so he's certainly seen that, and just seeing the way that you guys interact and stuff. If I could have worked with my old man, done something like that my whole life, or be able to work with my son one day, like that would be so cool. I would absolutely love that. So getting to talk to you guys is really special, and I think no matter what your situation, whether you have a $1 billion budget or you have a really small budget. It's all about the people, and you guys treat each other well. You treat your staff well. You guys have a lot of fun. You work your network, and you're great examples of people in this industry that are helping continue on. Doesn't matter what golf course you're at.
Thanks, Adam. And I really appreciate what you did. Like I've been on Instagram a while, and I started meeting some superintendents all over the world, and that was cool. And we would send each other pictures, and then like I'd make a golf course page, but it'd just be that single golf course. And I never even really thought to do what you did, but boy, you filled an awesome niche. And I use it all the time. Like my owners don't know a lot about golf, and they're trying to hear more of a whatever. So I can show them videos of you post like, hey, this would be a nice top dresser to start saving for. See this new hole cutter so I don't have to twist it. Like I use your videos all the time to show my owners stuff and show the golfers. The golfers like they have no idea what goes on out here. Like I put in
Mhm.
fairways, aprons, I changed the whole golf course, and they just have no idea what it takes. Like they look at my rough mower every day and they just think the rough mower cuts everything and it changes height as I go around here. So, so your videos are so handy for like even explaining to non-turf people what we do. I can't thank you guys enough for all that.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I think a lot of us have gone through that. I remember my first golf course job. I just showed up. I literally thought I was going to get like a lawnmower that you use in a backyard, just like your owner. And just show up and what am I cutting? And it's like, no, you see all these things we have right here? We got to do 95 different things today. And all these people are going to go out and do different things. And it's going to be like a war for about 5 hours. And you're like, okay. And you're out there and it's just like, this is crazy. I just thought people played golf and cut grass here. Like there is so much that goes into it. So helping uncover some of that stuff for people that has never seen it or haven't experienced it is certainly something we're trying to help with. And alongside, trying to help grow our industry.
Before we let you guys go, is there anything? It's your episode. We'll give you a little time here if there's anything you guys want to address or talk about.
No, I think I just finish with saying that it is about the people you meet and all the contacts and everybody. So that's when you get done and you get to the point I am. That's what you remember. And I would say to anybody starting out, don't be afraid to ask for help, and because everybody in the industry is willing to help. It's a wonderful fraternity of people that grow grass.
That's tough to top.
Yeah. We could just end with that sound bite. It's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, thanks, boys. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
No, we really
Oh.
appreciate this, guys. I think it was so cool how we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and then we were able to get you guys on.
Beautiful.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no, this is great.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks,
you
guys.
all coming on and taking the time to chat with us here.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.
Okay,
See
thank
you,
you.
boys.
All right. Take care.
Take care, guys. This episode is brought to you by the new Flash Weather AI app, built specifically for turf managers who need to stay ahead of the storm. With hyper-local forecasts, real-time radar, and predictive alerts, Flash Weather AI helps you make smarter decisions before the clouds roll in. No more guessing when to spray, top dress, or send the crew out. Just actionable weather intel right into your pocket. Download Flash Weather AI today and take control of your course conditions like never before.
Thought that was awesome. Very refreshing too. Like very refreshing just hearing the perspective from a golf course like that. You get to a lot of people, a lot of places where the attitude at a course where they don't have any resources is just like, woe is me. This sucks. I don't have anything, blah, blah, blah. But there's like, this is the best, it's a quiet town, golf course. We're making strides with the golf course, just doing little details. And, I love that. I love hearing stuff like that. Small town courses where it's just a place to go hang out. Yeah, I loved it. That was great.
But the passion's still there, right? Like they
100%,
love what they're
man.
doing. They care about the course. They care about the people. It's so cool that it doesn't really matter how much your golf course is worth or what you're working with. It's if you care about it and you get that same feeling being out of course every day. Oh man, we're so lucky to be in this industry.
Yeah. Just the story of how they got that golf course.
Yeah.
Dylan's girlfriend's dad came out to work for him one day, loved it so much. He's like, I'm going to buy a golf course.
I got a bunch of money. We just talked about that last episode. If you have a bunch of money and you want to buy a golf course.
Yeah, right. We need to get in touch with Dylan's girlfriend's dad there, it sounds like.
Well, he's out working on the course now, so.
I know. Oh, it's so cool, though. So cool. Those are my favorite places to visit, too. I love, going on vacation or something like that, just find this little, little golf course, mom and pop golf course. And just so much fun going out to places like that.
Yeah, we have one up by my cottage and it's one of my favorite golf courses. Is it a great course? No, but is one
Yeah.
of my favorite golf courses because of the memories and just growing up there and seeing all the different stuff.
Yeah.
And our show, we follow a little bit of a recipe on our show. We talk to a lot of the same kind of people, talk about a lot of the same kind of things. It is good to mix it up every once in a while and hear from, a different situation. And those guys, they talk about a lot of the same things that we usually hear, but they also got into some different stuff. And I think that's great sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, I think we've heard it several times, from some of the guys that are at the biggest places in the world. Most of them started at a place just like that. They started at a place just like that. They learned to be resourceful at a place with limited resources, and you have to learn creativity in order to get the job done. And, I think so many people can relate to a story like theirs, where it's tough to find people. They took over whatever the challenges are, but, a place that's not up to expectations, and, just put your nose to the ground and giddy up. So really, really cool.
Yeah. And then the whole, the family aspect too, like,
Yeah.
it's just so great. It almost probably wouldn't work if you don't have everybody at the family working and helping out.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Cool.
Oh, good. All right, dude. Well, I'll catch you here in about half an hour then.
Yep. Sounds good. See you in a bit.
Later.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for us this week. Thank you so much for stopping by. And thank you to the Ashley boys for joining us. We got another good one coming up this week. And we got to be honest, it's going to be a busy month for us coming up. Brian is all over the place. And my family and I are going through our first ever real big move. So not going anywhere, nothing crazy happening, just moving up closer to the kids' school, our church, and the golf course. So it's a good thing for us, but if you've ever gone through it, it's very stressful. So we're doing our best. So if the shows have a little less in them for the next couple weeks, or we're missing a host every once in a while, just want to put it out there. It's a very, very busy time for most people and us as well. So stick with us. We're going to keep trying to put out as much as we possibly can. And we have some really good guests lined up too. There's a lot of interesting people that have wanted to come on the show. We've been able to put together a bit of a schedule of some of the folks that are going to come on, and we're really looking forward to it. So a lot of great stuff in the pipeline. Keep those reels sharp. Thank you to our fantastic sponsors. Keep moving the show around. Check this one out.
Here ain't nothing but calm and clear. No pain, no trouble, no fear. I'm a hot shot that dropped here. So take a walk, no time to talk. This is the final one, and I'm just saying I'm not playing. Take a walk, no time to talk. You've got a long way ahead. You better hear what I say and take a walk. Already took the shots with me. I'm trouble, I'm fast, I'm clean. I brought